restaurant in Karachi. We can just make dinner.
Alright. As the saying goes. Welcome back to Mr. Alright Movie Reviews and our Bond Rewind series. Today we are stepping into Timothy Dalton's era with The Living Daylights, his 1987 debut as 007, with a catchy theme and a post-Soviet edge. This one aimed to toughen up Bond, but did it stick the landing? Let's break down the action, spies and stakes in just 5 short minutes. So this film kicks off with the Norwegian band a-ha's The Living Daylights, a synth pop banger that hit number 5 on the UK charts, number 1 in their own country. However, it completely missed on the US charts, perhaps a sign of its ephemeral nature. Its upbeat tempo and moody lyrics blend classic Bond flair with a new wave sound, perhaps matching the film's attempt at a grittier vibe, but just as the film failed, it also missed with audiences. It's certainly a nostalgic hit that takes us back to the 80s, but in my opinion, on a first listen, doesn't really age that well. Timothy Dalton steps into 007's shoes with a serious, no-nonsense take, aiming for a harder, more grounded post-Soviet Union Bond. He's intense and focused, leaning into Fleming's literary grit, but lacks the charisma and charm of Connery or Brosnan. Dalton's delivery often misses the mark on Bond's signature humour, making quips that feel flat or forced.
If only I could find a real man.
I need to use your phone. Should call you back.
Who are you?
Bond, James Bond. Exercise Control 007 here. I'll report in an hour.
Won't you join me?
Better make that 2.
His physicality does shine in action scenes like the Gibraltar jump, but the spark that draws audiences in is dim. Where Daniel Craig soared with a gritty, raw and emotional performance, Dalton's stoic approach feels stiff, leaving Bond a bit cold and distant. And I also couldn't help but think, why are the women falling at their feet for this guy? He's boring. Brosnan certainly never let the audience think that.
You were fantastic. We're free.
Cara, we're inside a Russian airbase in the middle of Afghanistan. Try the small key.
At least we're together.
Terrific. Come on.
Dalton is backed by Mariam Dabo. Man, these names in these films are so hard to pronounce. She is Cara Milovi, a vulnerable cellist adding romantic heart. We've also got Jeroen Krab as General Koskov. He was a shifty defector with dubious motive. Joe Don Baker's arms dealer Brad Whitaker is a quirky villain, though less menacing than hoped, and he actually returned in the Brosnan era as an ally in Jack Wade from the CIA.
Pickett's charge was up Cemetery Ridge, not Little Round Top.
I'm replaying the battle as I would have fought it. Meade was tenacious, but he was cautious. He missed his chances to crush Lee at Gettysburg.
I've come for Koskov.
John Rhys Davies, one of my favourite actors, Mr. Gimli. He performs General Pushkin. He adds gravitas, and at first we believe he's an enemy, but he later teams up with Bond to find out the deception from Koskov. The plot follows Bond helping Koskov defect at first, but then uncovering a web of arms dealing and KGB betrayal. Gadgets dazzle, a key finding whistle.
Right. Now, whistle the first bars of Rule Britannia.
Exploding milk bottles and the gadget-laden Aston Martin V8. The Afghanistan chase thrills audiences. And fun fact for this episode, Dalton actually insisted on fewer one-liners to stay truer to Fleming's version, perhaps being the author of his own Bond's demise. The Living Daylights launches Dalton's brief era, aiming to reset Bond after Roger Moore's more serialised run with a tougher post-Soviet spy grounded in chaotic Cold War realism. It sets up Dalton's arc as a serious agent with trust issues from double crosses carrying into License to Kill's darker tone. Unlike Craig's emotionally rich reboot, however, Dalton's harder edge feels flat, lacking the charm to balance out the grit. The era tries to modernise 007 for the late 80s, but it struggles to define itself before pivoting to the Brosnan era of flash gadgets and heavy spectacle. Taste the rainbow, baby. They did something there. Anyway, The Living Daylights grossed $191 million worldwide on a $40 million budget. A solid hit for anyone making movies, but it was much below the height of Roger Moore. So for Broccoli and such, they felt this was a miss and they did need to steer it in the right direction, perhaps why they cut Dalton short. It scored 73% from critics and a 65% score from audiences on Rotten Tomatoes, praised for its action and Dalton's intensity, but criticised for a muddled plot and forgettable villains. Fans call it a decent transition, but bland, with many noting it lacks the spark of Brosnan or Craig entries, ultimately fading in Bond's legacy. For me, The Living Daylights is forgettable. It's not outrageously bad, but it's not great either. Dalton's not atrocious, but his stiff delivery and weak comedy miss Bond's charm, where Craig's gripped sword, the Aston Martin and other gadgets are a highlight for me. But the plot and the villains feel a bit meh.
Saunders. Thanks.
It's a safe, middle-of-the-road 007 flick that doesn't really stick. So I'd give it a 5 out of 10 for trying, but falling flat. Is this Dalton's best shot? Hit the comments below and weigh in your opinion, but that is The Living Daylights Rewound. Next is License to Kill, Dalton's darker finale. If the Bond Rewind series is keeping you hooked, smash like and subscribe for our 26 episode ranking and binge my playlist in the description below. Thanks again to Jagex for the nostalgic old school RuneScape music. I love it, I'll never stop using it, but that's everything for now, folks. Take care, my friends, and I'll see you next time. Stay alright.